continuing, welcoming back the next episode of Shittywebcomics Weekly, brought to you by our Subscribe Star backers, as usual. Donate to our Subscribe Star to learn the unforgivable truths that everyone else on YouTube doesn't want you to know about.
It's very important that people will subscribe to that. You get to hear very important evidence of stuff that we've been gathering over the years. Like all the information about all the bullshit.
It's also stuff that everyone else will be saying. Like, unironically, the stuff we said years ago on our videos, and that didn't used to be on the Subscribe Star because we didn't have one. We were forced to make one. We were forced to put videos behind the big paywall.
That's also the other important point. These used to be free, but now they can no longer be free.
The information contained in our videos, I'm not saying that as a joke. I'm not saying any of this is a joke. The information in our videos is so dangerous to the human race that people false flag our channel constantly just because they don't want anyone else to know.
Big names. Some of them have been sacrificing their reputations just to false flag us.
Yeah, people have destroyed their entire careers just over trying to deplatform us.
Yes.
They have failed in many ways, and also now we're just making money off of the videos that they want deleted off of YouTube.
It's amazing because I would figure this would require like a level of importance and access and connections.
But no.
Like it's all the president's men. No, it's just some gay people on the internet who are big crybabies.
Yeah.
Big crybaby bitches.
Now, that's the thing about YouTube is that YouTube takes the side of the dishonest person, so it's always taking the side against us. But
for them, it's just about drama merchants. Again, but also like with Nick Rekieta.
Most importantly, the people doing the censoring are always the people you would least expect. You have no idea who's actually doing the censoring. They're the exact opposite of whoever you think it is every single time. And if you want to know who and how and all of the information, only way is on our Subscribe Star, as usual. Only way is to listen to us. Nobody else will tell you the truth.
You don't necessarily just have to be a Subscribe Star. Just listen to our videos.
You'll literally never find out from Kiwi Farms.
Dirtiest evidence.
Yeah, Kiwi Farms does not know the answer to this. We know all of it, and we have all the evidence and the proof, and show it constantly. And it's on our Subscribe Star, as usual.
Well, Kiwi Farms doesn't get wrong. They straight up crib from us.
Yeah. Unironically, most of everything, pretty much 99% of everything Kiwi Farms has ever gotten right came directly from our videos. And that's not speculation. That's not bragging. That's not ego or vanity. You can actually go see our videos and compare the timelines and all that shit. You'll see it matches up perfectly every single time.
It has happened so many times at this point now that I just take it as a given.
There are people from Kiwi Farms who are, hanging around on our Discord who are like, wow, you guys completely got that right before Kiwi Farms ever did. And now Kiwi Farms is saying everything you guys are saying. And again, showing the examples of that, like screenshot. Here's a screenshot of them on Kiwi Farm saying it, and here's the video from years earlier where we said it, where people on Kiwi Farms were saying, no, that's not right. That can't be true. Only to end up having them say everything we had said. So again, if you really want to know the truth, the most important thing is only to donate to our Subscribe Star. Also to subscribe to our videos, and also just being on our Discord, to be honest, is kind of the best way.
Subscribe to our channel, post links whenever we post something on, like, if you have a Discord.
Yeah, share our videos, which inherently makes people angry, so don't get surprised if you share our videos and other people start getting angry at you for doing it, because they hate all people. The NPCs hate the truth, and you're going to be surprised at how the NPCs are people who you thought you would swear up and down were not the NPCs. Nick Rekieta is an NPC, and all of his fans were too. You didn't know that. We've proven it, though, a long time. Years ago. Now everyone else is finally catching on.
Now people know. That's the thing with Nick Rekieta. If we're going to be talking about Nick Rekieta this episode, which we shouldn't be, Everyone knows now.
It's just
Now there is no
it's just
hiding
further
it. It's
proof
just
though
that we
that everything
revealed
we
this in
said
2018
is proven true. Yes. Going back so many years that even we are having a hard time remembering, because it's just stuff we moved on from. We're like, here's the truth. Next. And
It's too bad that he
we
has
do
fame.
constantly.
Don't his own fucking audience know that he's a grifter?
Yeah, and now that's the thing is now they do, and it's only because of us. Nobody else ever pointed out, and it wouldn't have been noticed if we didn't point it out first.
But that's
that
what
happens
bothers
every
me
single
also.
time. It happened with Ethan
I'm
Ralph
sure
and
that
Comics
people are
Gate
like,
and
oh,
so on
why
and
is
so
it
forth.
bothering? It bothers me because you people platformed it. You people are the ones who donated to him. I didn't donate to him ever. Why would I do that? He was clearly not worth the money.
Yeah, he was dishonest back then. Don't donate to people who are
So why
dishonest.
did
You
all
should
of you
instead do the
people donate
opposite.
to him? How did you guys end up actually giving him a reason to? He doesn't even practice law. What were they calling him? Just like
He's
a
the
non-practicing
non-practicing
lawyer or
attorney.
something?
NPA is what they refer to him as, non-practicing attorney.
Yeah, that's what he should be known as from now on. He shouldn't even be called Nick Rekieta.
Which also
He
came
should
from
just be
us, by the
called
way.
NPA.
Like years ago, if you listen to our videos about him years ago, we talk openly about the fact that he told me personally on his own stream when I was on with him that he closed his law practice to become a YouTuber. He said that openly. And people are like,
Again,
he's a
also,
lawyer. And it's like, he's not a lawyer, though. He
That was
said
like
he's not a lawyer.
2018, 2019. This is not news. This
Yeah.
is something that is very old.
It's ancient history, literally 5 years ago. It's half a decade that
Yes.
people have still not caught on to it, but we knew it because we were just personally
And now all of
there
a sudden,
to witness it.
all of a sudden, these people are like, "Oh, how did he used to be good?" No, he didn't. He wasn't. No,
Yeah, these
No, he
aren't
wasn't.
prophecies. These are just things we were there to see. It's not a prophecy when you saw
also,
it, when you're an eyewitness.
People are going to take the Clot Adams approach and be like, "You were just guessing."
Yeah, that's
No, I
some
wasn't.
people have tried that too. All of this ties in perfectly.
The Clot Adams argument.
This is what Yakub made us to be, you understand. And speaking of which, today's episode, today's video about this is Yakub. The first one is Yakub in his laboratory, and of course, because he's a scientist, he's
Are we going
holding
to
a
cover the
magnet.
Yakub rap?
What?
Didn't Crate make a Yakub rap?
Oh yeah, that's right. He made the Yakub rap. We should end the series with
that. Was that him or was that somebody else?
I think he did that with ChatGPT.
Yeah, he created a very clever rap song about Yakub.
Yes. We'll do that. We'll read the Yakub rap. We won't rap. We're not going to put a beat behind it. I'll just read the GPT. I keep putting a B in there. Psychologically, B. B is better. It's funnier. I have processed that humor.
This episode is not brought to you by Johnny CBD or Johnny Apple CBD or whatever the hell.
Anyways, the first panel of the comic of this page, Yakub is holding a magnet. He's got bottles around him, beakers, that kind of shit. He's in his laboratory, DD.
This is how you invent white people.
Yes. You hold a magnet and you think about
hold a magnet to some chemistry beakers, chemistry set.
Yes. But anyways, the caption says, while all this destruction was happening, Yakub was calmly sitting in his laboratory, DD, pondering the mysteries of magnetism. He wanted to become the master of magnet.
He wanted the master of magnet.
And it says, when he was suddenly disturbed, like the band, Disturbed, by noise from the outside. What's all that ruckus about, like Uncle Ruckus?
You know what I also have to say, and maybe I shouldn't be saying this, so we'll just keep it to this statement, but this is starting to sound like a certain Half-Life 2 mod description. This whole comic makes this story of Yakub sound like something that was invented for a Half-Life 2 mod.
Half-Life 2? Oh yeah, specifically Half-Life 2. Well, maybe a Half-Life 2 mod that never came out? One that was never finished or made?
A Half-Life 2 mod that had never been finished.
Not the one about the dinosaurs, though.
The synopsis promised all of this drama.
Not the dinosaurs one, though. But
Not the
maybe the one
dinosaur
about
one, the one
bowel
with the cure for
cancer.
cancer. The one where cancer gets cured.
And go. But, okay, yeah. So anyways, we'll just leave it at that, though. That is classic, but we'll leave it at that. Anyways, yeah, so he says, what's Yakub, older Yakub, saying, what's all that ruckus about? Sounds like people screaming. Doesn't say how old he is, but he has to be at least over 500 years old, of course, as established previously. The next panel is him sort of climbing up a hole to the top of his laboratory tower, where I think he's supposed to be under house arrest.
We will be calling the laboratory a laboratory from now on.
Yes. My laboratory. I mean, it's spelled laboratory after all.
It's the worst fucking impersonation we've ever tried.
By far, the Bane impersonation, the Byrne impersonation is better.
We are good at the Bane impersonation.
Everyone loves doing the Bane.
The Bane impersonation. It's so easy to do.
Fucking, why are the white people destroying Mecca? There's nothing to steal there.
Why are you people?
Boy, nailed it. Fucking nailed it.
This story needs to be rewritten now.
With Bane.
Yeah, instead of Yakub.
Yes.
Bane.
Replace
He
Yakub.
invented the face
In
mask.
a way, Yakub was the Bane.
He invented the face mask.
He was the Bane of the Ebenoids back then. In a way, he was also the Thanos as well. You see.
All the girls before they used to say "harder, daddy," they used to say "snap me, daddy Thanos" or "snap me, daddy Yakub."
Yes, and why did they do that? Because they're bad. They're bad people. Anyways, the caption though on that panel of him climbing just up a hole in the middle of the roof of his, just the flat top of his laboratory tower. It says, irritated, he walks up on the roof to have a look, and then the next panel is him standing on the
laboratory.
roof.
This is going to sound like a stupid question, but this laboratory tower, does it have any guards?
It doesn't have any guards.
Or guards.
No guards. There aren't even. Apparently house arrest is just on the honor system, so there are no guards. Guards. Anyways.
This story is terrible. There's not even any guards.
Yeah, but that's why the story is bad. No guards. But anyway.
Precisely why the story is bad is because it is totally lacking any guards.
The third panel, him standing on the roof of his laboratory, and he says he's thinking it's them. And again, Yakub with his giant brain, the way whenever he thinks something is like, is he transmitting this psychically? It's like, oh wait, no, he's just thinking. The next panel is Yakub laughing evilly. He seems to be missing teeth because he's old. He's an old guy now. And the caption says, at the sight of Mecca burning like a hellish inferno, Yakub bursts out in maniacal laughter. And then the last panel is him sort of standing on top of the tower overlooking Yakub overlooking Mecca as it's just completely on fire. And he says, Mecca is burning, it has begun. Go on, my children, go on. Avenge your father, show those filthy darkies what happens when you humiliate Yakub. So that wraps up that page. There's a few pages left. The story is not over yet, just because they have tragically destroyed Mecca.
Man, this story just fucking never ends.
And again, the Mecca doesn't seem to have that one magical meteorite that in the house with the arena around it. I don't know. I don't know if that wasn't there yet, or I don't know what the story of that. That sounds like that would be interesting, but I guess it's not related to any of this. It's totally unrelated. I mean, I guess the people who moved in after all of the Ebenoids were slaughtered and destroyed from the Wakandian miracle city that it was Mecca. It was rebuilt, but I guess not as good, according to Yakubian lore. So, again, if you want the modern equivalent of the Yakubian lore, donate to our Subscribe Star. I think we've given you more than enough reasons why you should have already been donating
Just
to our
the show by
Subscribe Star.
itself. Man, what a great show we just did.
And also, by the way, when we say like the people who, have been donating to people like Ricada, we mean the people who aren't donating to our Subscribe Star. The people who should be listening to us, but aren't. That's who we're talking to when we say that.
I'm just saying we should have a bigger audience than Ricada.
Well, we're talking to the literal millions and millions of people. Well, not really millions, but the thousands, perhaps now tens of people who support Nick Ricada. The huge drop-off there, certainly.
It was a huge amount previously, though. A lot of people loved him and would regularly make excuses for him for his degeneracy by saying that it was okay because he's going to save us from the woke.
Or that it wasn't degenerate. They would see his degeneracy and say he's wholesome. It was just it was like conversion disorder. They should have given these Nick Ricada fans a lobotomy. If it was 100 years ago, they would have given them a lobotomy without a second question, and there wouldn't be a single person saying, oh no, that lobotomy was unethical. Everyone, even the people who think that lobotomies are unethical, would be saying, except for when it's done to those Nick Ricada fans. That's the time when it's truly justified.
A lot of his fucking audience are basically like boomer Q-tards.
Yes.
Except that they're
even dumber.
too
Except
young.
even dumber.
They're way too young to actually justify being that.
By young,
they
we
just
mean 40.
Still are anyway.
30 and 40, and they all have like them wearing sunglasses and smoking a cigar in their profile pics.
Like their fucking glowy agent.
Yes. Which they pretty much might as well be. I mean, would you even be surprised to find out that him and his fans are directly affiliated with the CIA?
I assume that any e-celeb that slightly annoys me, regardless of their politics, of course, but especially if they are a right-winger, I will automatically assume that they're a stealth Seju or just a complete retard.
Or a federal agent, which usually they're all three. The thing is, by slightly annoys us, that means that they hate us because we told the truth about something that didn't even involve them. We're like, hey, here's this thing that's true, and here's evidence that proves it, and then all of a sudden, like Nick Ricada directly gets his fans to be angry at us for being correct. That's happened multiple times.
Pin of shame goes to, what was it, Black D Sage Gamer or some shit like that.
Yeah.
That was one of the guys who, like, right from the beginning was marking out for Ethan Van Sciver while we were posting just straight up evidence. Here he is. Ethan Van Sciver is attacking other conservatives that are on his side who have done nothing against him ever because they don't toe the line of what he obeys. And it's like, all we're saying is, look at that. He's doing that.
We weren't saying that to him either. We were just posting that, like,
your ass over this.
We were just posting that in general to each other and to other people who were following us who wanted to know that information, and he showed up to be angry at us and then block us when we kept posting to each other in reply to him when, hey, he didn't have to reply at all. He didn't have to say anything.
And that's also, it's also sort of like the Lord make my enemies ridiculous.
Yes, but also
at the same time,
that
guy, it was like the artist for one of the comics, which he does bad work, but it's just like, the guy who wrote this comic, he's like pure filth. He's the lowest of the low. We've got him actually engaging in actual real criminal activity. And then he shows up and he's like messaging you 30 times a day, but then he also has you blocked.
Yeah. And then he'll brag about how he's doing it while blocked and just all this shit. Again,
he'll say like,
everything that could prove us right in every single way,
well, I guess
without exceptions.
Default. And it's like, but you have him on block.
Again, that's, if you want to see the people who are always right, just donate to our Subscribe Star. There is a 0% chance of ever us being proven wrong about anything, because it's just the truth. It's just noticing what's going on.
Comicsgate keeps doing that. Well, they'll basically that just happened with Isom. He fucking just deletes his streams and then says, "I always delete my streams," and it's like it
Only
sounds more
dishonest
like you
people do
can't
that.
stand behind what you say. He basically keeps stepping on his own
Yeah,
metaphorical dick,
every
and then it's
single
like,
word
"Look at
of
I
this
just
video
deleted it because I don't
has
care. It's just for my backers."
dozens of hours of evidence, proof, receipts, and all that stuff on our Subscribe Star. So again, if you want to see the proof of everything we've been just saying over the past few minutes here, again,
The genius conglomeration of all the information just collated down into like a few sentences.
yeah, it's literally thousands of years of irrefutable truth, unforgivable truths.
Yeah, the superpower of the white man's wisdom,
Yes,
thousands of years of whiteness boiled down
condensed into
into
one ISO file.
a single ISO file, which is how everybody should be installing their operating
You should
systems.
install an operating system like that. Anyway, so yeah, do that if you want to know the truth. Subscribe, share our videos, donate to the Subscribe Star, donate however you can,
Yeah, if you're
any way
listening to this, you no
possible.
longer
There are
have
many
any
ways linked
excuse.
below.
That should actually be our new force catchphrases. If you're listening to this, you no longer have any excuse.
Yes, that's actually a perfect forced catchphrase. That one's really good. So yeah,
We need to write it down then or something.
we should do that. But anyways, but just for now, if you want to know, then actually go ahead and notice. Go ahead and look at the truth. And one of the only ways you can do that is by subscribe. One of the only ways you can look at the truth of all the human race combined and congealed down into individual little happy bite-sized
If you're
videos
listening to this, you have no excuse
Yes.
to not know.
Just
or
you have no excuse. I think that sums it up. That's quick and to the fucking point. That's
you know what? You're right.
very important.
It was already genius.
It was already perfect.
I don't need to try and improve it.
Look at this was just offhanded. This pure
This
genius,
is unscripted,
non-stop genius.
This is
just
totally
completely off the top of our
improv.
heads,
This-
off of the
this
top
is
of our
stream of
gigantic
purpose.
Yakub-sized brains that are actually fucking the size of a normal human brain. We contain all of the genius of Yakub without having to have a gigantic head like he does.
This is despite the fact that
We're superior to Yakub.
our lineage is actually a combination of Japanese and Brazilian.
Wow, who would have thought? But also, of course, we are
Because
all
it's
the offspring of Yakub, of course, naturally.
Because it's the most white, even more white supremacist than actually being white is being a combination of like Asian and Hispanic South American.
Yes, just as I suspected. Just fucking
Just
the
as
Sao Paulo,
predicted.
Brazil.
I don't know why you're saying that like Palpatine, even though it's from Lord of the Rings.
It's from Lord of the Rings. That's my favorite quote from Lord of the Rings. It's just as I suspected. Palpatine said that in Lord of the Rings. Anyways, so yeah, so everyone who does listen, they know the truth, and there's no excuse, and they know the truth even if they didn't want to. For everyone else who doesn't listen, though, of course, the people when we say all of you people should be this
intro.
and this, we're
That's
talking to the
actually
people
the
who
thing
don't listen and should be.
We should start the show with if you're hearing this, you no longer have an excuse.
Yes. Yeah, that should be the opening force catchphrase.
Yeah,
This is
that's
good
how
stuff.
we'll open
Wow.
our shows.
This is
And then
great
how
stuff.
do we end our shows?
Classic. So yeah, there's that. And then for everyone else, though, of course, should have listened to Shitty Webcomics.